won, y'all. I'm sorry. I was so blessed. I had made it through.
It's 11 in the morning on a Saturday in Columbia, South Carolina. Somewhere behind the wheel of a car moving west on Garner's Ferry Road, a man is holding up his phone, narrating his own police chase to anyone scrolling past it in real time. His voice doesn't shake. He talks like a man giving directions, not a man running from what he's already done. He already knows how this ends. His audience doesn't. In less than an hour, a woman will be lying in a hospital bed with a bullet in her body. 2 children will be trying to make sense of what they just watched happen to their mother. And 2 strangers who had nothing to do with any of it, a man and his dog, will be dead before the day is over. But how did we get here? Welcome to Crime Beyond the Shadows. To my loyal subscribers, I pray your families remain safe and protected wherever they are. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Here we bring you the untold details of true crime cases.
Yeah, y'all, get it, Brown. I'm gonna teach you how to get it, Brown, like me. Feel me? My line, yeah. Brown, get it, Brown. Get it, Brown. Get it, Brown. The ladies love Brown, and they all get down. Get it, Brown. Get it, Brown. Get it, Brown.
The facts others leave behind, and the truths that deserve to be heard. Today, we explore what happened to Antavius Brown and the woman he nearly killed on his way out the door. A woman shot in broad daylight inside her own apartment at 11 in the morning. The man who pulled the trigger is the same man who drove her to the hospital afterward. While she was being treated, he told people he was going back to hurt the children still inside that apartment, and then to hurt himself. And when police finally located him, he didn't run quietly. He turned on a live stream and broadcast his own escape to the internet, ending in a crash that killed a man who had nothing to do with any of it.
They won, y'all. I'm sorry. I was so blessed. I had made it through. There they go, y'all. Oh shit, they gonna kill me, y'all. They behind me. They gonna kill me, y'all. I'm gonna make them kill me, y'all. Today is the day I die. Today is the day I die, y'all. They gonna kill me today, y'all. I'm finna make them kill me. I'm sorry, y'all. So sorry. I fucked up. I'm finna make them kill me. I love y'all. Y'all know I gave this shit all I could. You feel me? I gave this shit all I could. You feel me? They coming. They coming. You feel me? And I gotta go. I gave this shit all I could, y'all.
By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what happened in the 2 weeks before that shooting. You'll hear from the woman who survived it, in her own words, and you'll understand why, months later, people online are still arguing about what was really going on behind closed doors.
Love me, hate me, like me or not. One thing that's certain, I'm a badass gal. I'm not a pygmy, but I'm always pig. I'm not number one, I'm the chosen one. I'm la dama popular, remember that. How y'all doing? This your girl Most Popular, the host of the Most Popular Podcast, and I'm back in the red carpet. I'm so excited to be here. Today is Saturday, April 26th, and we here at the Carolinas Festival. Shout out to Sport having the biggest homecoming event for all the college students. So if you're down here in the Carolinas, Columbia area, make sure you come down here and get your tickets. The lines are already long. There's going to be live performances. There's vendors, food, clothing. So yes, if you're here, if you're nearby area, make sure you come down here and get your tickets. We're having a good time.
Online, she's known as Nudera Tapia, host of Most Popular Podcast, a personality with a growing platform and an audience who watched her build it.
Hello, everybody. This is New Direct.
Never released her name publicly. This part of her identity comes from her own social media and from public reaction to the case, not from any police statement. But it matters, because it shapes everything that follows. She wasn't hiding. She was building something in front of an audience while living a second life behind a closed apartment door that most of that audience never saw. She was a mother of two. She had a relationship of 2 years with a man named Antavius Brown, who was living with her at the Cross Hill Apartments on Blossom Street. He'd promised her he would move out by the end of the year. That promise is the first thread in this story, and it's one worth remembering, because 2 weeks before anyone outside that apartment knew anything was wrong, the relationship that justified him living there was already over. He was still there anyway. Antavius J. Brown was 36 years old, living in Columbia. To the people who knew him casually, by most accounts he came across as easygoing, unremarkable, the kind of person who doesn't register as a threat until it's too late to matter. There's no documented history of prior violent incidents involving him in public records tied to this case. No prior record that would have warned anyone. After his death, a claim started circulating online that Brown was secretly involved with men and that this was somehow connected to why he did what he did. That claim has never been confirmed by police, by his family, or by the woman he shot. It exists only in comment sections and forum threads, repeated by people who never met him.
I do know I've been thugging, I've been hustling, trying to depend on you. And I've been lost, I've been down, seen a lot been through shame. But I gotta stand strong, cause no pain, no gain. God, be talking to me, tell me what should I do. And I've been thugging, I've been hustling, trying to depend on you. And I've been lost, I've been down, seen a lot been through shame. No, I gotta stand strong, cause no pain, no gain. One my nigga in the cell, lose his life from a knife. My dog came home, on that nigga died the same night. I put my hope in myself, cause I feeling the weird. Ever since I've been a G, promised to make it.
We're telling you it's out there because it shaped how the public talked about this case. We are not telling you it's true. So here's a question worth sitting with before we go further. How many warning signs get missed? Not because no one was paying attention, but because the person causing harm looked and sounded like someone's version of normal. Tell me in the comments, what's a red flag you'd want a friend to actually listen to before it's too late? A breakup without a move-out date is its own kind of danger. Antavius Brown and Nudera Tapia's relationship had ended roughly 2 weeks before the shooting, but the apartment on Blossom Street still had both of their lives in it. He was supposed to be gone by the end of the year. He wasn't gone yet, and an ex-partner who won't leave a shared home isn't just an inconvenience. It's one of the clearest predictors that a situation is about to get worse, not better. On the morning it happened, Brown accused her of cheating on him. That accusation is where the last normal conversation in that apartment ended and everything else began. According to the police incident report, he pointed a weapon at her head. Then he put it in his waistband and hit her, more than once. Her children were there. They watched it happen. And according to what she told police, they tried to step in and help their mother while it was happening. Hold on to that detail, because it's easy to let a headline like "domestic shooting" flatten what actually happened inside that room. This wasn't a single moment. It was an escalation in front of two kids who didn't have anywhere else to be. At around 11 a.m., Columbia police were called to the Cross Hill Apartments on Blossom Street for what was logged as a domestic incident involving a weapon. When officers arrived, they learned a woman had already been shot in the lower body. In the recovery interview she later gave, she described what that morning felt like from inside it, in words no police report can fully capture. Here's the detail that makes this case difficult to categorize. Brown didn't leave her there. He drove her to the hospital himself. Police would later describe her injury as non-life-threatening. For a moment, it might have looked like the worst of it was over. It wasn't. While she was being treated, Brown started making threats that he was going to go back to the Blossom Street apartment, hurt the children who were still there, and then hurt himself. That threat is the hinge this entire case turns on. Everything that happens next happens because of those words spoken in a hospital hallway.
I was so blessed. I had made it through. There they go, y'all.
Police got a description of his vehicle and started looking. They found it parked behind a business in the 4000 block of Leesburg Road, just outside their jurisdiction, which meant calling in Richland County Sheriff's deputies to help make the arrest. He was found. He was, for a moment, within reach. What would you have done in those 60 seconds, knowing what he'd already threatened? Let me know below, because what happened next is the part almost nobody expected. As officers and deputies moved to arrest him, Brown drove away. A pursuit began, crossing jurisdictions, both agencies chasing the same car down Garner's Ferry Road. And somewhere in the middle of that chase, Brown picked up his phone and started broadcasting it live on Facebook, narrating his own escape to an audience that had no idea what they were about to witness. The pursuit ended at the intersection of Garner's Ferry Road and Hazelwood Road in a multi-vehicle crash. In that crash, a man named Ryan B. Heyman, 52 years old, was killed. His dog was killed with him. Neither of them had anything to do with what happened that morning on Blossom Street. They were simply in the wrong car, at the wrong intersection, at the wrong moment. Heyman's family would later describe him as someone who brought love and laughter to everyone around him, who took nieces and nephews fishing, and who raised English bulldogs because he loved them. Say his name. Ryan Heyman. Because it's easy, in a story built around the person who caused the harm, to let the person who paid for it disappear into a headline. Police say Brown shot himself in the lower body while still inside his vehicle during the crash. He was taken to a hospital, where he later died. The Richland County Coroner's Office confirmed his identity and cause of death. Police also confirmed that no law enforcement officers fired their weapons at any point in this entire pursuit. Everything that happened because of decisions Brown made alone. There was no trial here, no verdict, no courtroom moment where he had to answer for any of it, because he didn't survive to be asked. And that leaves a question this case can never fully close. What happens to the truth when the only person who could explain it chooses not to live long enough to be questioned? Ryan Heyman's family had to bury a man who left his house that Saturday having nothing to do with a shooting 8 miles away. Their statement didn't ask for sympathy for anyone else in this story. It simply remembered him, a man who loved his dogs, his nieces, his nephews, and being outdoors. Months later, the woman identified online as the surviving victim returned to social media and to her podcast, describing the end of 2024 as unbelievable and reaffirming that she was still the host people knew her as.
That day, I lost my mind.
because I was just tired of him putting his hands on me. He pulls the gun out and just shoots me. Like, he started attacking me, punching me, boom, boom, boom. Then I got him off me, and then that's when he started like going into his pants to pull the gun out, and that's when I jumped on him. I looked at him and I said, "You really was gonna shoot me in front of my kids?" He pulls the gun out and just shoots me. Like, I wish I could make this up. You know, I grew up with both of my parents. There was nothing but love, music, food, unity. Like, my family was just so close. There was always, you know, happiness in my house. I didn't grow up seeing abuse in my household. You guys, everybody here made me feel comfortable. Everybody I spoke to, everybody that I emailed, like, it was an experience like no other, honestly. The way you all guys handled me, and every time I got on the phone with you guys, and the way you guys got back to me, it's usually a hassle, you know. The email, you don't respond back, you call, they don't answer, you gotta leave messages, and I did not get any of that from here. And not only it didn't feel like a process. I felt like you guys really care, like you were sympathetic to my situation, you know, words of encouragement. Like, every time I spoke to somebody, it was always, you know, I hope you feel better, I hope you get through this, you know. It wasn't just, well, yes, what's your name? Let me write it down, and then just, okay, we'll get back to you. It didn't feel that way, you know. Definitely.
The reaction online was mixed. Some people offered support.
I needed that.
Others questioned the framing of her return, the pace of it, what it meant to keep building a public platform after surviving something like this.
Hello, everybody. This is New Diver Tapia Cruz, aka Miss Popular, the host of the most popular podcast, and I'm here today to let everybody know that today was the 28th annual Silent Witness Ceremony, in which we honored domestic violence victims and survivors from 2024. Fortunately, I'm still here and I'm alive, because for those of you who don't know, I am also a survivor. In 2024, December 28th, I was shot by my ex-boyfriend in front of my children. He then took the police on a high-speed chase, crashed into some cars, he killed the man and a dog, and then he shot himself and took his own life, all in the same day. I'm very, very honored to have been chosen to be the spokesperson today at the ceremony. I did give a speech. It was overwhelming. It was very saddening. But I just want to tell everybody that I'm very proud of myself for having the courage to do this. I want to also get vulnerable with you guys. And I want you guys to know that although you see me happy, smiling, continuing my life, engaging in my, you know, in my endeavors and, you know, my podcast and just my, you know, everything that I do, I cry every day. I'm sad every day. I'm depressed. I'm distressed. I go through a lot of emotions. Every week is something new. Just this past Sunday, it was his birthday, and it was a very, very hard week for me. You know, despite what he put me through, I can't say I had a horrific relationship. It was a nice relationship, and it's just so unfortunate that things turned out the way they did. I wish they had I wish they would have never ended like this. I just want to say thank you to everybody that was so supportive today at the ceremony. For those of you who spoke to me, acknowledged me, gave me prayers, gave me words of encouragement. And not just the people today, every single person that really empowers me and just really, really care. You know, especially those of you who don't even know me, you know, my family, my friends, everybody. I love you so much. Thank you, because God knows this is not easy. Again, I know you see me smiling, you see me on the social media, but you're not physically here with me. you're not with me every day. I spend a lot of time by myself. You know, I go to work, I go to school, I deal with my kids, I come home. If you see me out, I'm working, and then I'm back home by myself, you know, dealing with everything. I do want to show you guys my award that I was presented with, that I was not expecting. This is the award. It says my name on it. I don't know if you can see it, but basically it says Office of the Attorney General, State of South Carolina, presented in appreciation to Nudaira Tapia, keynote speaker, in appreciation of your participation in the 28th Annual Styling Winning Ceremony, presented by Attorney General Alan Wilson, South Carolina State House, October 7, 2025. This is a beautiful award, very beautiful. I'm very thankful. You know, I'm not happy about the fact that I'm awarded an award for something so tragic. You know, it's not something I want to be awarded for, but I accept this award on behalf of all the survivors that have survived, because this is not just about me. This is about everybody that experienced what I experienced, and, you know, family members that have lost, you know, loved ones. I met some people today that were also victims or family members, such as Monique, the mom of this young lady, Jay Sarah. This is really sad. I'm trying not to cry. You know, it's just so sad. I know sometimes mental illness takes control over people, and some other times people are just evil and, you know, commit horrific acts, but nobody deserves to be killed.
We're not here to judge that reaction for you. We're telling you it exists, because it's part of how this case lived on, long after the news vans left Blossom Street. Do you think survivors owe the public a certain kind of recovery? Quiet, private, invisible? Or is the judgment itself the problem? Tell me what you think in the comments. This case fits a pattern investigators and advocates have documented for years. Violence escalating fastest in the final days of a relationship, especially when an ex-partner hasn't actually left the shared home. Threats made after a breakup, particularly threats to return to a house, aren't rhetorical. They're one of the clearest warning signs there is, and they deserve to be treated as urgent, not as something to wait out. If you recognized any of these warning signs in someone you know, an ex who won't leave, threats made in anger, an escalation that keeps getting explained away, would you know what to do next? That's not a rhetorical question. Type your answer below, because someone reading the comments on this video might need it. If this case affected you, or if you're looking into it further, resources exist, including the National Domestic Violence Hotline, available at 1-800-799. If you're new here, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because there's another case coming, one you won't want to miss. Until then, stay safe, look out for each other, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been Crime Beyond the Shadows.